Jenny S. wants to know, what do I do on board long flights? Well, usually I sleep. That's where I get a lot of my sleep. Probably not the best sleep, but I do. And I watch a lot of movies, and I think about tour and think about how I can deliver the most fun, sparkly, intimate, wonderful show for you guys. So I'm doing a lot of pre-planning on the flights, sleeping in, of course, checking out a movie here and there, and of course, reading some magazines. That's pretty much it. Amber from Elmira. Amber from Elmira asked, if you could resurrect someone, who would he be? I think Jeff Buckley died way too soon. That's probably who I would resurrect, because he died in a river in the water, which is sad. Allison from Tucson asked, what was your first job as a kid? My first job properly was working at an antique store, and it was really exciting because I love vintage things, and there were a lot of little vintage knickknacks and jewels, and I remember falling in love with a leopard coat, and my mom ended up buying it for me, and I ended up actually working at the antique alley in Santa Barbara, California. So it was really cool. Amber from Elmira asked, I saw you at the Much Music Video Awards in Toronto. Where did you come up with the idea for your red carpet arrival? Actually, I love this designer. Their name is Ashish, and it's Ashish. And I think they're based in London, and I'm a big fan. And I wore their Joker card, I think it was a Joker card dress in Waking Up in Vegas, in the scene where I get married to that guy in Vegas, and I'm like, I'm wearing your ring. So I've been a big fan, and I get to rent dresses every once in a while from them, which is really exciting. Lori from New Jersey asked, with what female artist would you like to collaborate and why? Well, I've always been a fan of female singer-songwriters, and two of them that stick out in my head are women that I discovered while I was learning how to write songs in Nashville, Tennessee. That's Jonathan Brooke and Patty Griffin, and the two of them were very influential to me, and still are very influential to me when I was 17 and 18, and really getting my chops on playing guitar, and I would see them live, and it was so cool to see females that were so connecting and intimate, but still so rock and roll, and could play. They could definitely play. So I would like to write a song with them. Or I'd like to do something with Nicki Minaj too, that would be fun, or Robin, who's one of my favorite female artists. Jacob from Nebraska asked, when you wrote Teenage Dream, who did you write it for? Well, I think it was inspired by my boyfriend, but I don't think that it was specifically inspired by him. I think it was just an idea that I had with Bonnie McKee, who is a fantastic singer-songwriter, and I asked her to help me out with the lyrics on this particular song, and we wrote it in Santa Barbara. We actually wrote it maybe 5 different times before we got it right. It was kind of exhausting, and ended up making the music video in Santa Barbara, which is cool, and she did a little cameo in it too. But I think she came up with the title Teenage Dream, and from there we kind of like put together this euphoric feeling, you know, I think that a lot of people go through, because when you're a teenager you fall in love really intensely sometimes, and when you're an adult you don't ever get that feeling again, but sometimes it happens. If you wait for the right one, sometimes they make you feel like that teenager again. So it's a little bit like The Graduate. It's a little bit like Kim Kardashian and Justin Bieber. Ian from Manila asked, you have been one of the greatest singers I have known. Despite the fame you're experiencing right now, I have noticed that you always have your feet on the ground. You always have your feet on the ground, and I have known that you do love your fans very much. How do you manage to do it, and how do you find time to express your gratitude to your fans? Well, I know that, a lot of the reason I'm here is because of the people, and, there's power in the people, and it's up to the people's choice if they want to buy a record, request a song on the radio, go see me in the concerts. And so I know that it's not just like some lottery ticket or luck that, I have a big fat IOU to give back to these people that have really put me in this wonderful position. And I always just, take time. Even when I have no time, I take time, because I know that sometimes I'm meeting people for the first time and I may not ever meet them again, and this impression will stick with them. And I've come into contact with people, along the way who have been fantastic to me and really, solidified the fact that the reason why I looked up to them so much. And then I've come in contact with people and I've been like, wow, you're such a bitch. And I never buy their records ever again, nor do I care to listen to their music. So I know that there's, some personality involved as much as there is good music. And so I don't ever want to forget that, the reason why I'm here, and I know it's them. Rosie from Northern Ireland asked, would you consider putting out an acoustic record which would be stripped down with just you and your guitar? I love the raw quality of your voice, as I think it shows your talent more. Thanks. Yeah, I definitely want to, and I will. I don't know if it'll be sooner than later, but it's weighing on my heart very heavily to do that kind of record. And, it's been on my mind just like this pop record has. And so I know that, when something's kind of like on my mind, I have to fulfill that goal, and I definitely will. Yeah. Missy from Dallas, Texas. Do you like going to Tokyo? Yes, it's my favorite place in the entire world. Beyond Santa Barbara, which is my hometown in California. But Tokyo is like just the future. It's like New York City on some other level. It's amazing and never a dull moment. And you can go from Tokyo to the countryside like Kyoto, and you can experience more of the traditional Japanese culture, maybe even see like a geisha going from her car into the house. It's very magical. And see all the temples. So you get so many different worlds. You get, the beautiful, magical kind of old Japan in Kyoto. And then in Tokyo you get like literally what New York City is probably in 20 years. It's just like crazy. It's so much. And they have such wonderful cultures because they're very respectable and very hardworking and clean, and they're excited by music. I love when a culture is excited by music. Amber from California asked, what was your inspiration for your song Hummingbird Heartbeat? Well, that song is definitely about my man, and it's one of those songs where I have this idea, maybe because I've been observing something, and I was having lunch in Santa Barbara, and I saw a hummingbird coming to a flower and eating out of that flower, and I was like, hummingbird. And someone said, I don't know, someone said, I wonder how fast their heart beats, or if I just thought, or something like that, and I just thought, hummingbird, and then heartbeat. Hummingbird, heartbeat, hummingbird, heartbeat. So I had that title idea, and then I also kind of thought, oh, that's a good way to explain like the way that someone makes you feel, or even like in a naughty, sexy way, you give me that hummingbird heartbeat. Because everyone says so many times, oh, he gives me butterflies, but what's another way to say it? And I thought that would be a cute way to say, someone that makes your heart flutter really fast. What is the craziest thing a fan has done to you at one of your concerts? Well, I love when they dress up and they have the wigs and the costumes, or they make the signs. A lot of people lately are getting tattoos, which is interesting because I don't know if I can be held responsible for that. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Your mom and dad. I love that girls are like getting their nails done, because I always get my nails done. I have different designs on them. And you know, people travel a lot, and I love that. They travel and visit me on tour from wherever they're at. And I always try and repay them by like signing or having meet and greets or something like that. So it's just crazy that all these people show up and take their own personal time out for me. Isis from Florida asks, which song off A Teenage Dream do I think is going to be my favorite song to perform? I think it's going to be a mixture between Firework for its motivation and inspiration, and Peacock for its absolute hilariousness. And costumes, of course. Rebecca from Florida asks, when will you start touring and how will it be different from the Hello Katy tour? I will start touring in the spring of next year, and I'm just gearing up to get into that headspace. It takes quite a few months to plan a tour properly. There's a lot of administration and things that go into making a tour, and rehearsals, and you know, just it's like training for a marathon in a way, but with glittery costumes. So you have to get really fit and very focused, and I can't wait. It'll be on another level. You know, I thought that the Hello Katy tour was really sweet, and I was really happy that, you know, it was a sold out show everywhere, but I just want to take it to the next level, and I will. Mark from Manila asks, do you have any plans of launching a fashion line which showcases clothes that you have personally designed? I guess that would be amazing, hopefully for both genders. Not right now specifically, but I obviously have an obsession with clothing and love being able to show that creative side of me. And I'd love to share it. I'd even love to give some of the costumes that I have out now. I've been developing an idea for that, to be able to give you those actual costumes. I'll share that with you in the future. But yeah, I'd like to. It's just there's a lot of things I have to juggle right now. And, you know, I think I have to take care of business with the tour. And it's really exciting just, you know, making music videos for every song. And my immediate goal is definitely tour. And then maybe I'll do some like fun projects later on. But I definitely want to bring the best, whatever it is that I do. Esther from California, do you write your songs or you accept submissions from songwriters? I do write my own songs. On One of the Boys, I either wrote or co-wrote everything, and this new record, I co-wrote everything. And I'm more of a lyrical-based person, although I know I can do melodies and chords and the whole bit. I play guitar, and for reference, I wrote a song called Thinking of You that was on my last record, and the title track for the last record I wrote as well by myself called One of the Boys. And, you know, I just like to make sure that my fingerprint is very well represented and I'm not saying or singing anything that doesn't resonate with me. That said, there is a song that speaks volumes about, you know, best song wins, which is a song called What If God Was One of Us by Joan Osborne. And she didn't write that song, and neither did Sinead O'Connor with Nothing Compares to You. So if someone sends me a song like that, I'll probably not turn it down because best song always wins. But I do like to write my own songs generally. Iris from Estonia asked, when you were a teenager, who did you have a celebrity crush with, and do you have a celebrity crush now? Well, when I was a teenager, I had a celebrity crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement and Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. And I'm going to marry my celebrity crush now. Kathy from Washington asked, for your next tour, are you going to be jumping into the crowd again like what you did for I Kissed a Girl? I don't know exactly if I'm going to be doing that. I want to get up close and personal like I always do. I never want to be distant like that, you know. After a successful record, people usually change, and I don't want to change too much. I mean, I want to change a lot costume-wise, but just not personally. and not when my fans are to be considered. So we'll see. We'll make it happen in some way, shape, or form. Lately, I've been doing the acoustic version of I Kissed a Girl, and that's been really exciting, too, to show off like a jazzy side of my voice. Lainey from North Carolina asks, what is your natural hair color? You don't want to know. It's like a dirty brown. Kelly from Evansville, Indiana, writes, do you like performing or recording better? There are two different things. Performing is exciting, but not always on your own schedule. Like for instance, this morning I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and got ready for a morning show, and so it's not always like with recording. You can do things, late at night after you've like really soaked things in and on your own time, and it's a little bit more creative, but performing can be very fulfilling because you're actually coming into contact with the people that are fans of your music, and they're singing the songs that you wrote, and that's such a great feeling. So they're two different things, and I love them each in different ways. But I love dressing up for performing, and I like being all cuddly for recording. Kevin from Birmingham, Alabama. Do you have any advice for up-and-coming artists out there? What helped you to get to where you are now? Well, I started looking in the newspaper, and I would look for what they call open mic nights. And I would go to these open mic nights. I would sign up on a sheet of paper, and then my name would be called, and I would play them a song that I wrote on my guitar. And I just got more comfortable singing in front of other people, and it wasn't like a very professional, here's me playing a show, but it was a chance for me to get in front of people and try things out on them. And also, like cafes, sometimes they welcome musicians to play at their cafe. And at the time, MySpace for me was really helpful. So all that internet stuff is right at your fingertips. Whether you record something on GarageBand or put it on MySpace and get opinions. I mean, it could be as easy as that. Obviously, you have to be talented, and you have to be prepared, and then you have to meet opportunity. Sometimes it's difficult judging like these shows where the talent shows where they want opinions, and it's like, oh. I try and give some constructive criticism. Brittany from Tucson, Arizona. Brittany from Tucson, Arizona asks, how does your style differ from other mainstream pop artist styles? I'm such a fan of all the other people that are existing in the world today, especially pop music, because I believe that they are raising the bar for everyone. And pop music used to be a little bit duller and more boring and formulaic, and now it's a little bit more surprising and interesting and not so, one thing, one dimension. So I think that my style is a little bit different because maybe it has a more lighthearted sense of humor to it. It might be a little bit more colorful. It may be a little bit more thought-provoking. But there is a lot of thought-provoking, colorful, funny music out there, and I think I'm just bringing my different style to the table, and I think people love variety. That's why we have a ice cream shop called 31 Flavors, because we want more than just one flavor. And I know in pop music they want that too. Holly from Texas asks, what is your favorite food? My favorite food would probably have to be, literally I love arugula, which is a salad. And I love cucumbers, which are delicious. And avocado. I definitely couldn't live my life without avocado. It's a very California-friendly food, avocado is. So I eat a lot of that. And I love salsa. Tacos. I'm actually hungry right now. Kyle from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania asks, where would you like your career to be in 10 years? Well, I'll be 35 then. I hope to show off so much more dimension. I think I'm just beginning. And I'd love to do an acoustic record. I love to do a collaborative record. And I love to tour to the ends of the earth, to different little cracks and crevices and places that aren't always the most popular places to go, because I know sometimes it's difficult for people to get to those places, like the cities and stuff like that. So I want to come to you. And I also want to try other different creative branches, maybe, try something in film, maybe try something in fashion. In 10 years, we'll see. We may not even be here. Molly from Tucson, Arizona. Since you are so active on Twitter and Facebook, how important is this to you? And do you think being so close to your fans has any impact on your music? Yes, I think it has so much impact on my music, because not only do I wear my heart on my sleeve for this record, but I can, answer questions. I can directly connect with a snap of the fingers at any moment. I could send a Twitter, and that Twitter would be out, and it would reach people from Indonesia to Hawaii to California to Japan to, anywhere in the world. It would reach like literally in seconds. And it's so wonderful, because I love sharing both, on a personal note and also on a professional note. And I try to make things really fun and colorful for people. And I don't like to be distant. I've never been normal, let's just say that, but that was before all this happened. But I definitely want to be able to connect with people on a very emotional level, on a honest and real level. And I feel like, if I'm not doing that, I'm not really doing my job. And if I'm not, writing a song that has a point that will connect with someone. Like, I don't really like to write about, like, what's it like to be famous, or, blah, 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 because that's stupid, And just because all this kind of stuff has happened doesn't mean that I still, don't get to experience love, and I don't get to experience sadness and excitement and disappointment, and I'm experiencing all those things. And so it's nice to be able to write songs that other people can adopt as their own soundtracks. Trey from Tucson, Arizona asks, what's the most listened to music on your iPod? That would probably have to be Robin's new record, Marina and the Diamonds' new record, Phoenix, Temper Trap. I really am a big fan of the Twilight soundtracks. I know, don't freak out. But they're actually really good. They remind me of Romeo and Juliet soundtrack, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. That was amazing. That's how I first discovered Garbage, Shirley Manson, who's awesome. Holly from Texas asks about how many cherry chapsticks have you received since I Kissed a Girl? Probably maybe 1,000. That's not a whole lot, is it? But it's not fun getting pelted by cherry chapsticks, I'll tell you that. On Warped Tour, I had a couple bruises. Roxy from Sao Paulo asked, what inspired you to write Pearl? It's really beautiful, much needed sort of feminist message. I guess I was in that situation, and being so confident and strong-headed, you think you'll never change for anyone, and then when you finally, not finally, hopefully, when you slowly see yourself changing for someone in a relationship or a friendship, it's not good. And so I wanted to write a song about that, and hopefully people can learn from this song and know that there is a way out, and they don't have to be held down by anyone, whether it's family, friends, relationships, that they should be a pearl and not a shell. And I'm glad that you asked this question. Rizwan from Beduk asked, What's the sweetest thing a guy's ever done for you? Letitia from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania asks, what new projects can we expect from your near future aside from music? Beyond that and the tour, there's not a whole lot going on. I do have a fragrance coming out in November called Purr, of course. So you should check it out. I'm very excited about that. Jesse from Orlando, Florida asks, what is your favorite movie of all time that you could watch over and over? Lolita. I love Lolita. And that's the colored one with Jeremy Irons. Although, I just watched the black and white one and I really like that as well. Elijah from Omaha, Nebraska asks, have you ever been starstruck by any of the celebrities you've met so far? I saw Little Richard walking down the hallway one time in his bedazzled suit, and I was very starstruck. I haven't met Dolly Parton, but I think I'd be very starstruck. And Madonna, I was really starstruck, kinda. I was, of course. And, I mean, it happens for a second, and then you're like, oh, you're a human being too. But Gwen Stefani is my favorite celebrity I've ever met because she was just so down to earth and cool. Tina from Orlando, Florida asks, what do you miss the most when you're on the road touring? My kitties. And my boyfriend, of course, but my kitties too. Brandon from Eau Claire, Wisconsin asks, what is your most memorable moment so far in your career? Every day is so wonderful, and there's so many memories. I really love performing on the award shows sometimes. Sometimes I don't like them because you can't always do exactly what you want to do. But I love performing on the MTV Awards show. That was really fun. And the Grammys ascending from the banana was really fun. I love doing very visual things. Abby from Detroit asks, who were your major influences growing up? There were a few, quite a few actually. Shirley Manson from Garbage, Gwen Stefani, of course, with no doubt, and Alanis Morissette. And then a lot of other people, especially Queen. Lauren from Montana asks, what is your favorite California Girls parody? Well, Key of Awesome is kind of awesome because it's exactly the totally opposite idea of California Girls. The message is kind of completely wrong, but right. I mean, I say right in a way that it was really hilarious. And then, of course, California Gays was really, really good. And I think there's literally 50, there's one for every state. There's all kinds of Montana girls, Connecticut girls, all kinds of girls. Jamie from Junction City asks, what's your favorite thing to do when you're visiting New York? I love to go bike riding by the West End Highway, I think it is. And I also love to go to Patricia Fields, which is one of my favorite stores here. And I like to go have delicious restaurant food, like go to La Esquina or go to the Lion or go dancing with my friends. Maddie from Tucson, Arizona. Do you text with Justin Bieber? No, I don't have his cell phone number, but I Twitter him sometimes. Catherine from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Would you ever do a tour with a rock band instead of a pop band? Yeah, of course I would. I love rock music. I was on Warped Tour. That's kind of punk music too. There were so many different flavors when I was there. But I have such a broad taste in music, so I'm not just a fan of pop music. I love rock music. I love, alternative country. I love acoustic. I love R&B, hip-hop, whole bit. John from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. What is your favorite reality TV show? Probably one of those shows about the girls that do the pageants because I never really did that, but I always wanted to be one of those girls. I maybe like entered one pageant like off the cuff and got second place, which I'm still really upset about. Lynn from Medford, Oregon. Did you ever anticipate your career to be this huge? No. I knew that I had something different to bring to the table, but yeah, it's a lot right now, and it's really exciting. And it's all because of you. And I'm very happy, and I'm so glad I get to go to all different places in the world and meet so many different types of people that enjoy my music, and I know that it's all because of you guys. Nothing else. Well, I mean, some of the songs are actually fun and stuff like that. But I know that you guys have a choice, and so I'm very happy that you choose me.